to transport its fuel was in September and turned down by Kenya on concerns that the move would displace the local oil marketing companies and, of course, from using the pipeline. Well, of course, Uganda will, from January 2024, stop buying fuel from the Kenyan farms after it ended a 5-year contract with Vito. Like I told you, Vito. So, man, this is crazy. Which will supply it with entire fuel needs. Well, we are only relying. Actually, I saw a member of parliament actually having an issue when it comes to that. Like, she was saying that we're now relying on Vito. We do not have any other alternative. Now imagine if Vito is not able to supply us with oil. What are we going to do? How about we set an alternative? How issue was having an alternative that we can run out to, in case. Of course, it is to be remembered that Kenya supplies about 90% of Uganda's fuel, while 10% is sourced through Tanzania. So now, if we're going to be relying on Vito, which is going to cover the 90% that we've been getting from Kenya, that means 10% is going to come from Tanzania. Imagine now Vito can ably supply 20%. How are we going to get the rest of the 80%? Yeah, so that is what the member of parliament was complaining about, for us to always have alternatives in such instances, okay? Now, of course, MTN Uganda declares a fresh interim payout on profit raises. Well, that is it. If you get yourself copies of the papers, well, of course, 9. I was reading the East African, yeah, and of course, we're going to be looking at what is happening in the Daily Monitor. And of course, Museveni approves tax holiday, 500 billion shillings for innovation. Well, of course, the president also permitted tax exemptions of products. There is going to be an airline that is going to be set in Kidepo National Park. And of course, there is talks that these guys are going to be exempted from paying taxes, which is an issue for some people. Well, of course, into this story, the President Yoweri Museveni has okayed an annual allocation of 500 billion Ugandan shillings to boost the technological innovations in the country. Well, I must applaud for that. 500 billion. And I want it accountable, every shilling accountable for every innovation that is set for these youngsters, because we're trying to make sure that we curb unemployment in Uganda. So how about we give them chance? Give them credit where it is due. If the innovation is worth 1 million, give them. If the innovation is, give them, let's motivate our youth, let's motivate ourselves. Now, the president also permitted tax exemptions for products from local innovators who are just entering the market. Very good, very good. This is something I've been dreaming about, and it's here. Hoping it will be implemented and fully structured with the right procedures that one can actually benefit from it. Well, he said that recently they have been able to put more than 1 trillion shillings the parish development model program year after year. So even here, 500 billion Ghana shillings, yeah, he was referring to Dr. Musenero, who is the Minister for Technology and Innovation in Uganda. Is not a lot of money, but can put it. Now, of course, instead of mourning and crying, bring the proposal and they shall put the money. So please, for every innovator that is out there, any young innovator, whether middle age, whether youth, whether 18, whether you're a teenager, just know, bring your games, bring your game here on paper, and they're going to be able to fund you. 500 billion set for you. And of course, you're going to be tax exempted. You're going to be exempted from paying taxes for a starter on the market. How isn't that even? It's good news. I like it. I love it. Away from that, Minister Lugolobi received 600. Okay. This is also another saga. 600 Karamoja and shoots. Yeah. And of course, Interesting stories here. Of course, farms urged to appreciate non-executive directors. That is the non-executive directors NED awards that happened. Well, of course, here Israel agrees pauses in fighting but rules out ceasefire. Well, they're going to pause, but they're not going to cease fire. What is that supposed to mean? That's a very disturbing statement. Well, of course, you can get yourself a copy of the New Vision or the Daily Monitors to get more interesting stories that are happening in and around Uganda and regarding business. Just if you're interested, even not only business, there is a lot of interesting conversations here for you. Today we are going to be focusing, before we go that, and of course Parliament seeks public news views on animal feeds bill. Well, get more information if you grab yourself a copy of the New Vision. And of course the Parliament Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries has invited members of the public to submit views on the Animal Feeds Bill 2023. So the farmers out there, get ready to submit in your views. You know, they're going to be also considered. Well, a public notice issued by the clerk to Parliament yesterday invites any person holding public office or private individuals to submit a memoranda or appear before the committee not later than November the 15th, that is next week. So please be able to come in and submit your review on this bill. Well, like I said, today we're going to be looking at mental health, you know, and how it is affecting us, given the report that we saw recently about 30% of Ugandans having mental disorders in Uganda, from 15% to 30%. Very soon it will be on 50%. That means half of Ugandans will be mentally unstable. Why? You know, there are very many issues we put ourselves up to. You know, you're young, but you're in a relationship. It is killing you. It is killing you. You know, you're being suicidal. Yeah, so it's not actually sound. Well, of course, it was the 14th of the 13th of May 2022. They said 14 million Ugandans had mental disorders. 14 million Ugandans. That's a lot of percentage. 14 million Ugandans having a mental disorder. So, really, our discussion is going to rotate around that and looking for ways forward. Well, of course, here we're going to be setting our eyes on how mental health can impact employee productivity. As an employee, how does this affect you, and how can you find a possible solution for all this? Now, according to the World Health Organization, approximately 1 out of 4 Ugandans have experienced mental health disorders at some point in their lives. So among your 4 friends, one of you is mentally unstable. And of course, the common mental disorders in Uganda are depression and anxiety, which I agree, depression. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of depression, mostly when it comes to our young generation now. We are more depressed. It's a world where with the status, we are posting statuses, we are happy, but in actual sense, we are really not feeling it very well. And of course, other mental and of course psychotic disorders, mental disorders, madness in short. And of course the mental disorders have significant impact on employee productivity. For instance, a study from the World Health Organization found that depression can lead to 35% reduction in employee productivity. You've seen people having mental breakdowns. They go in the bathroom, you hear them crying. They're depressed. You are maybe you're a youth, you're 25, but then the responsibilities you have are overwhelming. You're the firstborn, you're the provider of the family. My goodness. So why not get depressed? The salary you get cannot be able to fund all that. So you're there. At the end of the day, you're getting a burnout. You're not up mentally sound. Well, of course, seeing how this can impact our employee productivity in our places of work. We see there is always absenteeism, absenteeism and absenteeism in most cases. Someone is like, I can't do this. They're not turning up for work, So it is good for employers to actually take initiative, to consult and ask their employees what could be going on, It could be partially because maybe the working environment is not favorable for them. Maybe they have too much. Maybe you could increase a little bit of their salary by 10% or give them a little bit of allowance. That is what they need, really. Now, of course, they're having difficulty in concentrating and completing tasks, 1 minute someone is typing, then the next minute they are really down. So that is one of the effects that mental health has on employee productivity. Well, of course, having difficulty in making decisions and solving problems. If you're not mentally sound, you cannot make a right decision. You're gonna make it out of depression, out of anger. When you're depressed, you're angry, you're hungry. It's the whole disorganization of all the events. Now, of course, having difficulty working with others. Moody. You're always moody, You're always moody. You do not know how to respond to others. You're rude, So I really can relate. I really can relate to all that, The mood changes, But let's work. Let's talk to someone, Okay, go talk to someone at the end of the day, If it's finances, reach out to someone. Also having loans could also bring you mental issues, Talk to someone who even if you asked for a loan from them, they won't be pressing you so hard, Because even if you went to the bank, at the end of the day, those ones have even no mercy at all. You're gonna pay what is due. Well, of course, investing, I think we should invest more on mental health services. This could include health training for healthcare professionals. So if you're looking for something to do, you could actually do counseling. It's a course. Because now if you use this as an advantage, 14 million Ugandans mentally unstable. You could be a consultant, a counselor. People that shrink, a therapist, people that can reach out to you and actually you could, help them calm down. Well, of course, increasing also the number of mental health facilities, for most famously known as Butabika. It's largely populated. If you go in there, it's populated, overly populated. People are going in every now and again, to have mostly those that are using drugs. It's quite absurd. Well, of course, also raising awareness about mental health. I think this year has been about mental health. Mental health is really key. So there has to be more awareness on mental health, on how people can go about their daily lives without being compromised with what they are facing. And of course, this can be done through public awareness campaigns. We could have educational programs. We could have training for healthcare professionals and employees. I believe this should start from the different schools, in primary schools, because you see, you could only think that mental disorders are really affect adults, but then trust me, there are young kids that are have mental disorders. Why? There's domestic violence. The rise of domestic violence is it is there. Well, they could be in an abusive family, so there's also that. They come late at work, or at school, and you punish them. You don't consult, just punish. As a teacher, you punish. Take time and listen. You do not know what people are going through, so please help a friend. Well, of course, reducing stigma associated with mental health. It's when someone is coming from no, associate with them, you know. They weren't born mad. Factors of life led to their, you know, disorientation in the mind. And of course, this can be done talking openly about mental health, challenging negative stereotypes, and of course promoting positive image of people with mental health disorders. It's just like I come from a mental facility and I've been doing drugs and everyone is scattering, leaving me. I mean, it was my fault, but then me involving myself in that, but then you do not know my story. How would you start segregating me? No, it could also happen to you as well. So imagine that, put yourself in that person's shoes, yeah? With the 30%, we have 50%, we could increase 50%. If you're in the 30%, then you could be in the 50% in a few years to come. So please help a friend out there. And of course here, we want to see the correlation between a positive mental state and creativity, innovation, and problem-solving skills. Yeah, how can your positive mind, yeah, help you to be creative, innovative, and solve problems? Now that you've seen 500 billion gonna be located for innovators, yeah. If there has been a young, a youth, or maybe anyone that is inventory and is hoping to involve themselves in innovation, you know, and they've been challenged financially, this could be their moment, you know, having hope, giving hope that, you know what, at the end of the day, you're going to receive 1 million or 10 million to, you know, carry out your innovation, because they think a lot. There's a lot of thinking that comes with that. Now, of course, there is a strong correlation between a positive mind state and creativity. I can't have a mental breakdown and then be creative. Those two never work. So you have to have a positive state of mind for you to be creative, for you to be innovative and solve problems. And of course, we are an example here, an example of a study here by researchers of the University of California found that people who were in a positive mood were more likely to come up with creative solutions to problems. Yeah, if you're happy, you may not be necessarily happy, like happy with clouds, butterflies. No, you could just be of a sound mind. Yeah, and those are the ones with a good mood. Yeah, so you're the one able to create. So create a working environment for people to work productively. Give them some tea, give them some breakfast, give them some leave or holiday so that they can breathe a bit and be in a right state of mind for them to come back. Someone works from January to December, from January to December, no break. Wow, Jesus Christ. Now, of course, the study participants were given a series of course, another study here shows that found that people who are happy are more likely to be innovative. Yeah, of course, here as well, mental states, positive mental states can help us to resolve problems, to be more effective when we are in positive moods. So, and now, of course, an example by researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that people who are in a positive mind were more likely to solve difficult problems. And, you know, I also got an issue actually. I think I wasn't in the right mood. And then I had something, I was trying to solve something, you know, it was madness on madness, really. I can relate to that, really. I can relate to that. I know how it feels. So definitely, here how you can actually have a positive mind, state of mind, is spend time with people who actually make you happy. Text a friend or two. And those people who know us individually on an individual basis, just be looking by your text, they know, you know what, Mass is not right. You know, talk to people, spend time with that. Go for a vacation, go to Nyege Nyege if you want to, and have some fun and come out refreshed. Do something that you like. Paint. Yeah, run, take a stroll, swim, yeah. Engage activities that you enjoy, practice gratitude, yeah. Take time each day to think about the things that you're grateful for, yeah. Well, of course, get enough sleep as well, I know. I know with the difficult, challenging economy Some of you are doing day shift, then you're covering night shift. So it's a lot to do. And exercise and eat well. Eat well. Eat well, some nice food, because at the end of the day, your health is entirely dependent on your health. Okay, so just 26 minutes past 8 a.m. and of course still discussing matters relating to mental health and how we can balance, how we can have a positive mind so that we can be innovative, creative in our workspaces. I mean, if you're self-employed, I know something could go definitely wrong. Well, of course, we are going in for a short breather and we shall be back with entertainment and sport business. Please do stick around. We have more in store for you.